There are comic books, and then there are works of pure devotion. In 1975, DC Comics released something unlike anything before. A project so ambitious, so visually breathtaking, it didn't just adapt scripture, it resurrected it on the page. This is the story of the Bible, created by Joe Kubert, Nestor Redondo, and Sheldon Mayer. A monumental graphic retelling of Genesis, brought to life by three giants of the medium.
Hello, children. What a lovely day it is. I'm glad you came to visit me.
Grandpa, David has been teasing me all the way here.
I have not, Hannah. Only you're so dumb.
It's not very nice to tease your sister, David.
But Gramps, Hannah really believes all those stories. They tell us in Sunday school about God and the Bible, stuff like that.
What makes you so certain that the things you read about in the Bible didn't really happen, David?
Oh, come on, Gramps. I'm no baby.
You're only 1 year older than me, David.
Do you mean to tell me that there was an Adam and Eve, or that Noah did build an ark? 'Cause it was going to rain 40 days and 40 nights.
David thinks he knows everything, Grandpa.
At least I know a fairy tale when I hear it, Hannah.
Don't be too sure, David. Something is responsible for the trees, the birds, the flowers, the rain.
According to my science teacher, Gramps, it all began millions of years ago.
Well, David, scientist, will be the first to tell you that they don't have all the answers. Sure, they'll tell you that life probably began in the sea. But if it did, how'd it get there? All the different forms of life. How'd they all get there? You can feel the thrill of life when a herd of wild stallions pounds across hard-packed turf between high flat-top mesas. But who put them there? And what controls the delicate balance of nature, allowing great lumbering beasts to live alongside feathered, fragile beauty? From the very beginning, the story was told and retold by one person to another, then written down by many people in different languages. It's a story that will always be told as long as there are people to tell it, and now I'll tell it to you. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and was empty. Only the Spirit of God moved over the waters. Then God said,
"Let there be light."
And God said that the light would be called day, and the darkness night. And it was so. On the second day, God said that there should be a space to divide the waters from the waters, and let that space be called heaven.
"Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together in one place, and let dry land appear. The dry land shall be called earth, and the water shall be called seas." "Let the earth bring forth grass and herbs bearing seeds, the fruit trees bring forth fruit, bearing seeds of its kind. Let there be lights in the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons, and to give light upon the earth.
Then the surging waters brought forth living creatures of all forms and shapes, from the largest to the smallest. On the earth all forms of living creatures, cattle and creeping things and beasts of the field. And it was so, and God was pleased. Then, from the dust of the earth, he made a man in his own image, and gave man dominion over the earth and all of its living creatures. And so God created Adam. On the seventh day, God rested, and he blessed that day and made it holy. In a place called Eden, God planted a beautiful garden. Trees grew in abundance and a delight to the eye, and laden with succulent fruits.
You will live here, Adam, and care for the garden. No harm can befall you. And you may eat freely the fruit of every tree, except for one. This is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. You are never to eat of its fruit. For the day you eat of its fruit, you will surely die.
I have listened to your words carefully, and I will obey. What names shall I give these creatures? Deer, birds, rabbits, foxes, there are many. It seems that each of God's creatures has his companion, a mate, all except myself. I have no one.
Alone, heavy at heart, Adam fell into a deep slumber. While Adam slept, God took one of the man's ribs and closed the flesh, leaving no mark. From the rib, God made Eve a mate for Adam.
Who are you?
I am your wife.
I am a part of you. Yet I am a part. Together we are one.
Now the garden became a paradise.
This is bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. You shall be called Eve, and be the mother of all living.
Joy and happiness filled their days as Adam and Eve roamed the beautiful garden, Food grew plentifully, only an arm's length away. But all was not serene. Of all God's creatures, the serpent was the craftiest, the most malicious.
I will change their happiness to dark sorrow.
One faithful day, the serpent found Eve alone.
It is too bad that God forbade you to eat the fruit in the garden.
That is not true. We may eat all we want.
All from every tree.
Well, no, we are not to eat or even touch the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
God knows that if you ate that fruit, you and Adam will be like gods yourselves. Your eyes would be opened. You would then know good from evil, like God himself.
But God said we would surely die.
Nonsense. Your life would just begin. Aren't you the least bit curious? The fruit is more delicious than any other in the garden. You could be as wise as God. Go ahead, taste it.
Eve, what are you doing? You know, that fruit is forbidden to us.
I'm just tasting it, Adam. It's good. Here, you tasted, Adam. Go on. It won't bite you.
Oh, all right, it does. Taste good.
And so the first man and woman committed the first sin. Suddenly, a dark cloud seemed to cover the garden as Adam and Eve realized their nakedness for the first time.
Eve, I feel strange. We're naked.
Oh, Adam, why? Why did we never realize it?
We must cover ourselves with these fig leaves.
If we tie them together, we can make aprons.
Adam, where are you?
I was hiding, Lord. I hid myself because I was naked.
Who told you you were naked? Have you eaten any fruit from the forbidden tree? Woman, what have you done?
The serpent beguiled me, Lord. I did eat the fruit and persuaded Adam.
Because you have done this, serpent, you are cursed above all cattle. Upon your belly you will crawl, and eat dust all the days of your life. The woman Eve and her descendants will forever be enemies to you and yours. As for you too, all your lives you will struggle against the earth for food. When you die, you will return to the ground from which you were made. Go, You will leave the paradise of Eden forever.
God gave Adam and Eve coats of skins to wear. God's flaming sword guards against the exiles return, so that man can never eat the fruit of the tree of eternal life, which grows next to the tree of knowledge of good and evil. From generations of sand and stone in the plains of Mesopotamia, a chain of diggers uncovers Sumerian temples that were thronged with worshippers over 5,500 years ago. Clayhead from the year 7000 BC may help unlock the history of the Bible. Copper spearhead used by a soldier in the year 2800 BC. Stone altar dated 900 BC, whose brown stains tell a story of a bloody past. Time passed into weeks and months and years. While Adam tilled the hard, rocky land for food and substance, two sons were born to Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel.
Bring me some water, Eve. The sun is hot, I thirst.
Our sons are so different, Adam. Cain is so strong, impulsive, while Abel is slender, gentle.
Yes.
Cain and Abel grew to manhood. Abel became a shepherd, tending the flock. Cain worked in the field more fiercely than any yoked ox.
Abel, my harvest has been rich. I'm going to offer some of it to God, in thanks.
I will make an offering to Cain. I think God will be pleased with this lamb.
All right, if you wish.
God was pleased with Abel's humble offering. Cain gathered his harvest with pride and self-satisfaction. God was not pleased.
Abel, come this way with me. There is something I want to show you.
Cain's jealousy burned deeply in his heart against Abel. Beyond the sight of their mother and father, Cain struck Abel a mortal blow in a fit of rage. Thus occurred the first murder, to be executed again and again through man's bloody history upon the earth.
No longer will the Lord look upon you with pleasure. Abel, you are no more.
Where is your brother Abel?
How? How should I know? Am I my brother's keeper?
You have defiled the ground with your brother's blood. It will never give you another harvest. You are banished from this place to be a fugitive, a wanderer on the face of the earth.
No, 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 Lord. I cannot endure this punishment. I will be slain by anyone who finds me.
This mark upon you will be a warning to all, that if they do you harm, their punishment will be 7 times worse than yours. Now, go.
Cain went from the presence of the Lord to live in the land of Nod, east of Eden. He bore God's mark and was shunned by most people to the end of his days. In the land of Nod, Cain took a wife. The land that he settled he called Enoch, after his firstborn son. The descendants of Enoch lived in tents and raised cattle. The use of bronze and iron were discovered. Herdsmen learned to make musical instruments to calm their animals and while away their lonely nights. Musical instruments such as lyre and the flute came about. In those days, men lived much longer than they do today. When Adam was 130 years old, Eve was blessed with another son, Seth.
Rest a while, Seth. Your mother brings water.
We must finish the last furrow, Father, before the sun sets.
If not today, then tomorrow, my son.
Seth resembled his venerable father more than did Cain or Abel. Adam lived to be 930 years old and had many children and many grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Among them was Enoch, grandchild of Seth. His name was like that of Cain's firstborn, and lived to be 365 years old, but did not die. For Enoch pleased God so that he was taken by the Lord. Methuselah, one of Enoch's many sons, lived to be 969 years old, longer than any man before or after. His children and grandchildren were so numerous, it was a wonder the old man could recall their names. 9 generations had passed since the creation of Adam and Eve, and their children multiplied over the face of the earth. But all was not well. Cruelty and wickedness invaded the hearts of men. Patiently, the Lord God waited to see if they would mend their ways. Little did man realize that the deluge awaited.
That man, he's being attacked.
Move on, woman. Do you want them to hurt us?
The Lord was angry and regretted that he had made man upon the earth. Wants and pillaging, evil and violence dominated the land. But there was one man, Noah, grandson of Methuselah, who pleased God.
Foolish men, to abuse the gift of life with such barbarity. No beast would treat another so cruelly.
Then a voice spoke to Noah.
The end of life will on earth grows near. For man has filled the earth with violence and evil, and I will cleanse the earth. Build yourself a great ark of gopher wood. Put many rooms in it and build it in 3 decks. Make it watertight with tar. Its length must be 450 feet.
Exact measurements for building the ark were given, and Noah was directed that his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives would accompany him aboard after the ark's completion.
Shem, make certain that each deck is 10 feet high. Ham, Japhet, secure the beams and shim to true level.
Yes, Father.
Noah followed his instructions from the Lord exactly, and with the help of his sons, through many tedious years, built the ark. Then the Lord told Noah to gather all the animals by twos, male and female, onto the ark, with enough food for all. By this time, Noah was 600 years old.
In 7 days I will cause it to rain. For 40 days and 40 nights.
7 days later, black storm cloud gathered overhead. Lightning flashed across the heavens as deep rumbling of thunder made the very earth shake.
Hurry! Hurry! We must get aboard now.
Above the peal of thunder, Noah shouted,
Make sure the animals are secure. Then put your trust in the Lord, my children.
The deluge began. The teeming rain fell without pause, and slowly pools of water formed around the ark, growing wider and deeper.
The Lord himself has shut the doors and windows. We will be dry and warm and safe.
Steadily the rain fell. Gathering waters grew deeper and wider, forming rivers and lakes that had never existed before. The flood was upon the earth, but the ark floated safely upon the water. The waters rose higher and higher.
When will it stop?
I don't know. We're as high up as we can go.
The highest mountains under heaven were covered with water. All the living creatures that moved on earth, animals, birds, people, all that lived on dry land, perished, and still the waters kept rising. In the ark,
Will the rain ever cease, Father?
Have faith, my son. It will be your salvation.
after 40 days, the rain was restrained and the waters stopped rising. In the whole world, only Noah and those with him remained alive, while a wind blew across the water. As the water receded, the ark came to a rest on Mount Ararat.
Father, the ark has settled.
Yes, but the water may be still about us.
Finally, Noah dared open the ark's window.
I will release this raven. If there is dry land beyond, he will find it and not return.
Noah watched the ebony bird wheel and turn in the sky.
See, he does not fly beyond sight of the ark. Perhaps the dove will be more fortunate. Perhaps he will find dry land.
The snow-white dove fluttered into the bright sunlight, but the dove found no rest for the soles of her feet.
Look, she returns. You are weary, little bird. We will wait 7 days, then try again.
7 days later, the dove flew forth and returned with a fresh olive leaf. 7 more days passed, and the dove soared aloft again, and did not return.
Come forth and bring the birds, the cattle, and every every living creature with you from the ark, that they may breed and multiply on the earth.
Then Noah and his wife and his sons and all their wives and all the animals came forth from the ark and stood on dry ground. It was a world washed clean, upon which these were the only living creatures that survived the deluge.
God has been good to us. Shem, gather stones. We must build an altar to the Lord and pray for his guidance. Thank you, O Lord, for delivering us safely from the flood waters.
Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. When I send clouds and rain, be not afraid, for I will set my bow in the clouds, so that you may see it and be reminded that I will never forget my promise.
And from that time on, whenever there is rain, there may be seen across the heavens God's bow of many colors, marking his covenant with all the creatures who live on earth. In the Sumerian school in 2000 BC, students sit on blocks of stone. Only the upper-class, well-to-do boys are permitted an education. The teacher is absolute and total master, whose rule is unquestioned. Writing consisted of making impressions on a ball of soft clay with a stylus. School lunch was brought from home, perhaps a roll or two. A monitor stood in back of the classroom to maintain order and discipline. He made sure that no sound interrupted the daily lessons. The Ziggurat. Clay and mud were molded into bricks and dried in the sun. The bricks were bonded with slime from the bitumen pits. By this method, the bricks were brought to the workmen aloft. Southern Mesopotamia in biblical times boasted the first skyscraper called Ziggurat. That rose story upon story, housing the abode of the gods perched aloft on their top in heaven. It is believed that the Tower of Babel was conceived upon a similar base. After the flood, the sons of Noah had many children. As time passed, the sound of great numbers of people was heard on the earth. They had no homes except for the tents they carried and erected at night. For these people were nomads. All the people spoke the same language and traveled together.
Here is water and shade. This is a good place to stay.
Days turned into weeks and months.
Our settlement flourishes. All goes well.
That is because together we have strength.
Then why not build a permanent city here, in Shinar?
Yes, a city with strong walls that would keep our people together always.
We have the skill to make brick and mortar.
Plans for a city on the plain of Shinar took form, and construction of brick and mortar homes began. Clay and mud were molded into bricks, dried under the sun, and bonded with bitumen. Slowly, the city grew.
It goes well, but we need something more. A monument.
Let us build a tower, with its top in the heavens.
Yes, it will make a name for us, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the earth.
The people started to build a tower on the base of a ziggurat straight up into the heavens. They worked as one man, and their efforts were prodigious. But the Lord was not pleased.
If I allow the people to complete this tower into the heavens, then no idea, good or bad, will be beyond their reach.
Hey, down there. More bricks. Bring up more bricks.
What did he say? I can't understand.
Sounds like Babel. No sense at all.
Can you make out what they're saying?
No. They're chattering like apes.
I won't work with idiots. Let's get away from here.
It's all a Babel. A Babel.
The Lord had confused their language, and the people dispersed over the face of the earth into separate nations speaking different languages, and their efforts abandoned city of the unfinished tower, remembered as Babel, which has come to mean confusion. Soldiers in the time of Abraham. 4,500 years ago, wars were fought on chariots drawn by wild asses across the plains of Mesopotamia. Armor was used in a limited manner, since maneuverability was essential, and any additional weight hampered the fighting man, and most wounds were fatal. Short sword, shield, duck-billed axe, axe-gut bow, spear. Of Shem's many descendants, there was one named Abraham. Born in Ur, he lived with his father Terah and his family. The people of Ur worshipped idols.
Father, why do they shout praises to statues? My great-grandfather taught us that there is only one God.
Silence, Abraham. You will anger the others, if you do not show devotion to the moon goddess.
I cannot stop my thoughts. I feel it is wrong to worship false idols.
10 years passed.
Abraham, my son, I feel it is time for us to move on. Since your brother has died, the responsibility of his children, Lot and Milcah, is yours.
So Terah left Ur and led his family and flock towards the land of Canaan, across the great plains of Mesopotamia.
Abraham, my husband, how much further will we travel today?
As far as my father Terah will take us, Sarai.
I grow weary, Abraham. We will stay here, in this place called Haran.
Very well, father.
The patriarch's word was not questioned, and Abraham lived in Haran for many peaceful years. One night, not long after the death of Terah, his father, Abraham had a strange dream in which the Lord spoke to him.
Abraham, you must leave your father's household and go to another land which I will show you. Take Sarah, your nephew, Lot, all your household goods and servants, and leave Haran. You will father a great nation in this new land. Have faith. Listen to my instructions, and you will be blessed at the end of your days.
That very night, Abraham told Sarai of his dream and did as the Lord bade him, and left the land of Haran. They traveled long and far until...
Abraham, where are we going?
Patient Sarai. The Lord will tell us when we reach our destination.
Then
Abraham, to your descendants I will give this land.
Praise God. Our journey is over.
Abraham built an altar to the Lord and pitched his tents on a mountain east of Bethel, near the land of Canaan. But rain did not fall, grass withered, flocks starved, and famine ruled the land.
We must leave this barren land, Uncle Abraham.
We'll take the remainder of our flock to Egypt, so that we can sell them and buy grain.
So they folded their tents and started southward, towards Egypt. As Abraham neared the land of the Egyptians,
We can water our animals at this lake, Uncle Abraham, if those soldiers do not bother us.
Ho, there is a rare beauty, a fine addition to the Pharaoh's harem.
Unless she is already married. Ha, the Pharaoh would then accept a widow.
before they could realize what happened, Abraham and Sarai were led before the Pharaoh of Egypt.
And so we insisted they accompany us into your presence, O Pharaoh, to judge her beauty for yourself. She insisted her brother come along.
She is lovely. I am about to bestow great privilege upon your sister. Herds, man, in addition to presenting you with many gifts of gold and camels and servants. She will be my wife.
Sarai told them I was her brother, to save my life. I will lose her forever, unless God helps us.
And the Lord did help.
What is this illness that has struck me, and my household?
We do not know, sire. It is as if a curse has fallen the court.
Why should the gods want to punish me?
Perhaps, sire, the fact that the woman Sarai is not Abraham's sister, but his wife.
His wife? So that is why I have been stricken. Give Abraham back his wife. Let him keep the gifts I gave him. Only get him out of Egypt.
Abraham, Sarai, and Lot left Egypt much wealthier than when they arrived. They returned to the camp near Bethel with their newly acquired riches. But squabbling arose.
Keep Lot's sheep off the hill.
Don't tell us where to shepherd our flocks.
I'll do more than just tell you.
We are kinsmen, Uncle Abraham, but perhaps it would be best if we separated.
Yes, Lot. The pastures here are not big enough for our combined herds.
Abraham and Lot climbed a hill overlooking the Jordan Valley.
You may have your choice, nephew. The land to the left or the land to the right.
The lush Jordan Valley. That's my choice, uncle.
Lot moved his herds and flocks into the Jordan plain near the city of Sodom, and Abraham remained in the land of Canaan.
Lift up your eyes, Abraham. Abraham, look north, south, east, west, all the land you see around. You is yours and your descendants, and they shall be many.
So Abraham moved to the plain of Mamre in Hebron, and there he settled. Abraham's nephew Lot dwelt in Sodom. The surrounding kingdoms were in a constant state of brutal wars, and no man felt pity for his neighbor's suffering. Death, carnage, and destruction ruled their hearts, while armies looted and enslaved their conquered brethren. Sodom's defending forces crumbled under the onslaught, and its people were led off in chains by their conquerors.
If I'd only stayed with my uncle Abraham. Now all is lost. My family, my home, my possessions gone.
Move on, you swine. You will remain alive at our pleasure. Move on!
That night, a sorely wounded form hobbled away from Sodom, under cover of darkness, towards the plain of Mamre. Later, in Abraham's camp among the oaks of Mamre.
Are you not the servant of my nephew, Lot? Speak. What has happened?
Sodom has been sacked by invaders. Your nephew Lot has been captured.
Following the invaders' trail, Abraham and his men spied the large encampment on a plain below.
In numbers, the invaders surpass us. In arms, they are veteran soldiers. We are herdsmen. But we must rescue Lot and his people.
Later that night,
If I could break these chains, perhaps I could escape, but I am too weak.
suddenly an arrow whistled through the night air. Silently, a stricken guard crumpled slowly to the ground. Taking advantage of a surprise attack, Abraham's men were upon the invaders with wild shouts and yells, giving the impression that they were many in numbers. Abraham struck out with the force of a hurricane, smashing through flesh and bone, heartening his men to greater efforts.
They're running, Abraham!
They are taking the prisoners with them. We must go after them.
Pursuing them unto the land of Dan, as far as Hobah, near Damascus, Abraham drew closer to the fleeing invaders. Like a tidal wave, the herdsmen, led on by Abraham, enveloped the invaders. The cries of battle rose to the heavens as Abraham's mighty right arm took its toll. Soon the battle was over.
Uncle Abraham, how did you, with only herdsmen, you defeated the armies of the 4 kings?
The Lord was with us. Lot.
It was not long after that Abraham led a triumphal caravan bearing Sodom's treasures and freed citizens back to the city. The king of Sodom offered Abraham riches.
No, I will not take so much as a single thread. Give the reward to my herdsmen.
A strange one, this Hebrew.
Abraham's rewards were to come later.
Behold, the stars in the heavens. Abraham. Abraham, just as they are too many to count, so also shall be your descendants. I promise you.
Years passed, and Abraham was without an heir.
Abraham, I am too old to bear a child, but our custom permits you a second wife. A son by Hagar, my handmaiden, would be the same as my own.
Urged by Sarai, Abraham took Hagar unto him, and had a son with her, called Ishmael. One day, 3 strangers came to Mamre on their way to Sodom.
Thank you for your food, Abraham.
My home is yours.
For your kindness, we will tell you that your wife Sarai shall have a son.
A son? Me?
The 3 strangers turned and spoke to Sarai, for they were the Lord's angels and knew men's thoughts.
Yes, Sarai, at the time appointed, I shall return, and you shall have a son.
Afterwards, Abraham went with the strangers part way to Sodom, and left them inside of city, alone. Abraham heard the voice of the Lord.
There is great wickedness in Sodom. I will destroy the place.
But you would destroy both good and bad. If there are even 50 godly men.
If there are 50, I will spare Sodom.
Yet, there may be only 40.
I will spare Sodom. For 40 godly men.
And if there are but 30?
Even for 30.
And for 20?
Even for 20. Even for 20. Same.
What if there are only 10?
I will not destroy the city. If I find 10 godly men there.
Meanwhile, the 2 angels had entered Sodom, a city that reeked of sin and evil.
You gentlemen are strangers here. My name is Lot. Whom do you seek?
We are in a mission.
It grows dark. Your very lives would be in peril on these streets after sundown. Spend the night in my house. Tomorrow you may proceed.
Thank you.
Sodom is not a good place in which to live, or to bring up children. Crime and violence are found everywhere.
Lot, there is shouting outside.
That is not unusual, wife. Drunkards carousing. Someone being robbed.
Outside Lot's house, a wild mob rammed the door.
Open up. We know you have two strangers inside.
We could smell the silver in their pockets.
Turn them over to us, or we'll tear the house apart.
Lot. They're going to smash the door down.
Do not worry, Lot. They will smash nothing.
What's going on? Who turned
What
out
is
the
happening?
lights?
I can't see.
Where did everybody
Everything
go?
is dark. I'm afraid.
Everything's
Help! Someone
turned
help!
black.
Me, please.
Everything's turned black.
What is happening? I
Help
can't
me.
see.
I'm scared.
I'm blind.
I'm afraid of the dark.
I'm blind.
I can't see.
Can someone
What
help
is
me?
happening?
Everything is
I can't
dark.
see.
I'm afraid.
Help What's going
Someone
on?
help!
Help
Me,
Everything's
please.
turned black.
What is happening? I can't see.
I'm blind.
What is
Can
happening?
someone help
I
me?
can't see. What is happening? I can't see.
Everything's turned
Everything
black.
is dark.
Help
I'm
me.
afraid. Someone help!
Help
me,
me.
please.
I'm blind. I can't see. Help. What's going on?
They will bother you no more, Lot.
You have caused them all to be blind.
If you have relatives in the city, tell them to flee. Sodom and Gomorrah are going to be destroyed.
Lot hurried through the darkened streets, intent on warning his two married daughters.
You must listen to me. Take my daughter, my grandchildren, get out of Sodom.
Now, Lot. Calm down.
You must have had a bad dream, Father.
Wearily, Lot ran to his second married daughter, and again his pleas fell on deaf ears. Finally,
I must get back to my house. They laughed at me. They wouldn't listen. Maybe they'll come after all.
We will wait until dawn. No later.
within the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, fire and brimstone fell in undiminished fury as the tormented screams of the inhabitants mixed with the crash and thunder of falling buildings. People ran to and fro, attempting to escape the unbearable heat of the scalding flames, to no avail. The Holocaust was stoked by the sheets of fire raining from the sky. Suddenly, the earth itself was rent asunder. Flames issued from the abyss as buildings and people tumbled to their doom. The Sodomites cried out to the heavens for relief, and the relentless fires continued to fall from above.
I can feel the sweltering heat across my shoulders. Stay beneath my robes, my daughters. Do not look back.
Broiling smoke and flame billowed up from the stricken city, mixing with the dark clouds above. Did Lot's wife turn because of curiosity? Or was she looking for her missing family that she hoped was following? No one knows. No one will ever know. For Lot's wife had become a pillar of salt.
That was great, Gramps. Please tell us more.
It's late, kids. Next time, I'll tell you more spectacular stories from the world's greatest book.
For many fans and scholars, the Bible stands as one of the most beautifully illustrated comic books ever produced, a true collaboration of three unique creative voices who merged to form a single masterpiece. I happen to have an original copy from 1975. Yes, it's duct taped together, but you know what? It's still beautiful. And that wraps up today's video. This is Nasser Sabashi. Keep on creating, keep on dreaming, and most importantly, don't forget to have some fun in the process. Until next time.